Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So just introducing myself, I'm Alex Schuker, Head of Product at DrayTek UK and Ireland. And with me today is your main presenter, Lukasz Waligorski, one of our product specialists. The presentation today is a launch of 3 new products, with the main focus being our first release of our Wi-Fi 7 business routers. With broadband starting to get beyond 1 gig in being more widely available, it's putting the focus on upping the wireless standards, because the users these days are often thinking about it as their Wi-Fi rather than as their broadband connection, and Wi-Fi 7 is, I think, a key part of enabling a better user experience and helping people to reach the speeds that their broadband is capable of. I'm now going to pass over to Lukasz Waligorski, who will be able to go into that in great detail, but also will cover the stuff around making sure your network is also prepared for that, because on the LAN side, that can become the bottleneck, which is where looking at beyond 1 gig is a really important part of the solution. But now over to you, Lukasz. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex, and welcome everyone to today's webinar. We're going to look at the DrayTek's new Wi-Fi 7 and multi-gig solutions, but more importantly, we're going to look at why businesses need this next generation of networking infrastructure. We'll start by looking at why Wi-Fi 7 is becoming increasingly important for business networks, and then introduce DrayTek's first Wi-Fi 7 routers. We also look at the move towards faster fiber and multi-gig WAN connectivity, why multi-WAN can be valuable for both performance and business continuity, and why the LAN also needs to evolve beyond traditional gigabit speeds. And finally, we'll put all of these elements together and show how faster fiber, multi-gig routing, faster LAN connectivity, and Wi-Fi 7 can work as one complete solution to help businesses remove any bottlenecks and get more value from their network infrastructure. So let's start by looking at why businesses are using more bandwidth than ever before. The way we work has changed significantly, and we have more users and more connected devices, and many of the applications many businesses rely on every day, they have moved basically online, like to cloud services, SAS applications, Teams and Zoom calls, and VoIP file sharing, and so on. These activities don't happen one at a time. They usually happen simultaneously. So imagine that you also may need to add a guest Wi-Fi user, some personal devices, and IoT equipment, and the demand can build very quickly. So it's not necessarily one application that requires a huge amount of bandwidth. It's the combined demand from many users, devices, applications that's put that increasing pressure on the business network. So increasingly many of those users and devices are connecting wirelessly, and Wi-Fi is no longer simply a convenient way of connecting a laptop. For many businesses, it has become part of the core infrastructure. So Wi-Fi 7, therefore, about more than achieving a higher headline speed, it gives us a platform designed to deal with greater demand, more devices, and increasingly capable wireless clients. And here we've got some technologies associated with Wi-Fi 7. And today I want to concentrate on the ones particularly relevant to the new DrayTek routers. Multi-link operation is probably the headline feature, allowing compatible clients to make better use of multiple wireless links. Enhanced OFDMA improves the efficient use of wireless resources, while zero-wide DFS helps minimize interruptions. So if we look at the images, you can see on the left-hand side the new Wi-Fi 7 technology allows you to combine the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands to increase available bandwidth and improve network connection stability. That's available on our new DrayTek Vigor 2867BE routers and 2928BE models as well. So BE basically stands for that Wi-Fi 7 standard. The other Wi-Fi 7 feature I briefly mentioned earlier is the OFDM. And in Wi-Fi 7 world, multiple resource units enhanced the OFDM technology that was introduced with Wi-Fi 6. And while Wi-Fi 6 limits each client to a single resource unit, Wi-Fi 7 allows clients to use multiple resource units simultaneously. And obviously this makes more efficient use of the available spectrum, helping to deliver higher throughput and lower latency. Another feature that is available on our routers is the zero-wave DFS, thanks to a dedicated DFS 5G antenna. What it does, it monitors the radar signals on DFS channels without causing service interruption. So that dedicated antenna continuously scans DFS radar signals while maintaining active communication on other channels. Thanks to that, router is able to quickly switch to a clear channel when there is interference detected, and thereby minimizing downtime and improving overall network performance. That's important for any business. So now let's have a look at the new DrayTek Wi-Fi 7 routers. Some of you may recall we have launched the 2867 and 2928 routers. However, they were only wired models, and the spec is quite similar to what you can see on the screen right now. The new features are the BE7200 Wi-Fi 7 module, and they support multi-link operation. If you want to compare the two products with each other, I would say not only color but 1.2 interface is slightly different. The 2867 comes with a built-in DSL modem, whereas 2928 has the 10 gigabit SFP plus connectivity option. Let's have a look in details what each comes with. So you've got 2867BE on the screen that combines the familiar DSL capability of the 2860 series with a different level of Ethernet and wireless performance. We now have the BE7200 dual band Wi-Fi 7. We have also a switchable 10 gigabit Ethernet WAN and LAN interface. So you can set it to WAN or LAN, and there is a dedicated 10 gigabit SFP plus LAN interface and 2.5 gig Ethernet LAN and some other 1 gig ports as well. There's also the VDSL and ADSL connectivity available. That's 0.5 on the screen. The Vigor 2928BE takes a similar multi-gig and Wi-Fi 7 approach, but it's focused on FTTP connectivity, although a DSL modem can be also connected to one of its WAN interfaces. For the WAN purposes, the 1.2 interface specifically, we have a SFP plus interface, and there's also the switchable 10 gigabit Ethernet, a dedicated 10 gigabit SFP plus for LAN, and a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet as well, along with some 1 gig LAN ports. That's 0.9 here on the screen. And obviously the BE7200 Wi-Fi 7 module. For comparison purposes, please have a look at the screen, maybe take a screenshot as well. The main difference between the products we released, the wired models, is basically that Wi-Fi capability that you can see in red, the bottom section of the table. It's a 4x4 router with many antennas, including the DFS mentioned earlier, two detachable antennas, and some internal antennas as well. So far, we've concentrated primarily on wireless, but Wi-Fi 7 is only one part of what's changing. The connection coming into the business is changing as well. Full fiber is becoming widely available. Gigabit connectivity is increasingly mainstream, and we're now beginning to see services move beyond the traditional 1 gigabit ceiling. This isn't a future scenario. Fiber availability across the UK and Ireland has increased significantly, and providers are already offering services beyond 1 gigabits per second. So as a customers basically move from 100 megabits per second to 500 megabits per second and gigabit and now multi-gig services. Faster connectivity is no longer something we simply prepare for. Full fiber is available to around 25 million UK homes, while almost 9 in 10 homes have access to gigabit capable broadband. The market is moving beyond gigabits, with services of 2 gig and above becoming available. So the question is uh, increasingly not whether faster broadband is available, but whether the network beyond that connection is capable of taking advantage of it. This is probably the simplest example of the bottleneck, but we're talking about if customer has a 2 gigabit fiber service, but the router has a 1 gigabit Ethernet 1 interface, they basically cannot make full use of that connection through that interface. The broadband may be capable of more, but the router has effectively put a gigabit ceiling in front of it. So multi-WAN isn't just about adding another internet connection to our 10 gigabit interfaces. It gives businesses more control over how those connections are used. Maybe there is only a 1 gig connectivity available, but we can use 2 or more WAN ports on our new routers. And here's where load balancing is important. It allows basically active WAN connections to participate in the load balance pool. What that it does, it helps make better use of the available bandwidth for resilience, automatic failover that can move connectivity to another one. If primary service becomes unavailable, it can help to minimize disruption. And with policy-based routing, you can further uh, you can go further and decide which connection particular traffic should use. For example, directing VoIP through a specific WAN interface or some applications, users, or reaching some destinations through a preferred one. So we gain performance, resilience, and much greater control over connectivity. We've brought multi-gig connectivity into the router, but if everything behind that router is still running at gigabit, we probably potentially just moved the bottleneck. The next part of the network that needs to catch up is the LAN. So this isn't only about internet traffic. A workstation transferring a large file to a NAS may never touch the one. Servers may be serving many users simultaneously, so that's a local traffic, guys. And a high performance Wi-Fi access point needs sufficient wired uplink capacity. So faster Ethernet, therefore, matters both for internet access and for traffic that stays entirely within the LAN. So where do we use 2.5 and 10 gig Ethernet? Where would that fit? So 2.5 interfaces would usually fit for devices such as Wi-Fi access points, some modern desktops. I think most of them now come with 2.5, if not faster interfaces. The multi-gig access basically that is needed on the network, and faster interfaces are usually good for servers and NAS drives, high performance workstations, and obviously routers and switches as well for uplink purposes, for example. And this is where the new VigorSwitch Q1070x fits into the story. Once we introduce a multi-gig router, we need a way to distribute that capacity around the LAN. And the Q1070x gives us high-speed connectivity for servers, storage, workstations, and any other uplinks. The switch here is a tiny kind of, I would say, a desktop switch that doesn't make any noise, so we can actually place it anywhere in the office, even a desk. There's also a PoE version that we launched earlier this year, delivering up to 30 watts per port with the total budget of 75 watts. So you've got the choice of PoE and non-PoE option. And if you need to use a higher spec option or maybe a lower spec option like the Q60X, that's an unmanaged switch that still delivers great throughput. Every single port is a 2.5 gig Ethernet plus an uplink interface which can deliver 10 gigabit connection through its SFP Plus module. There are other small switches, and if you would like to get more information or see the whole range of DrayTek switches, I recommend you to visit our website, draytek.co.uk, and then go to the products, compare our products, and hit the switches button. So that's where you can find the whole comparison table and see which products suits the best for your project. And this is where everything we've discussed comes together. Faster fiber creates the opportunity, but the router, LAN, and wireless network all need to keep pace. The Vigor 2867BE and Vigor 2928VE provide the multi-gig routing and Wi-Fi 7 platform. So while multi-gig switching allows that performance to extend across the LAN, for customers, this could begin with a fiber upgrade, a Wi-Fi refresh, or simply the need for greater resilience. But each can reveal a wider opportunity to modernize the network. So deliver the speeds your broadband promises. It's a key. It's not only that we connect our router to very fast internet connection. Our LAN needs to support that as well. Our Wi-Fi, which is, I would say, integral part of the networking these days, got to support it too. If you recall, we've been in the world where 1 gigabit LAN ports were a standard. So we moved from the 100 megabits per second to 1000 megabits per second, 1 gigabit. And we stay like that for many years now. And because of the Wi-Fi mainly and faster internet connectivity, that perform that speed on the LAN is not enough anymore. Businesses are investing in faster fiber and Wi-Fi 7, but getting a faster connection is only part of the story. So the rest of the network needs to be able to keep up. So by combining multi-gig WAN, faster routing, 2.5 and even 10 gigabit LAN connectivity and Wi-Fi 7, we can remove the bottlenecks that might otherwise hold the connection back. And that's where the Vigor 2867BE, Vigor 2928BE, and the VigorSwitch Q1070x fit in, helping businesses get more from the connectivity they are paying for today, while giving them room to grow in the future as well. So let me summarize today's webinar, and thank you for joining, guys. With the product specification, product codes and the pricing, we can get the 2867BE SRP is $429. The 2928, that doesn't come with the built-in DSL, but it offers the extra SFP Plus module that costs around $399 plus VAT, and the small VigorSwitch Q1070X that offers 5 2.5 gig ports and 2 10 gigabit SFP Plus slots. It costs around £95 plus VAT. They're all available now, so you should be able to order them through your regular channel. And I think it's time for some questions today.
Thank you, Lukasz. Yeah, thank you everyone for asking the questions during. We can run through some now. The first one is around kind of other products that are going to be in the Wi-Fi 7 range. So I know we've got the 2867BE and 2928BE, but there was just kind of a question around, is that it? Are there going to be any other products in the range for the 2867 and 2928 series?
So you guys may be aware that there is a Wi-Fi 7 access point, the Vigor AP 1070C, available for some time now. That's the fastest Wi-Fi 7 products we offer right now. In terms of the routers, maybe Alex can update you guys on that, but I believe there will be some more 2867, 2928 Wi-Fi 7 products that will come with additional functionality.
So yes, thank you, Lukasz. The 4G and 5G variants will be available. We don't have the release date yet, but there will be essentially a version of the 2867BE that also supports cellular on top, so that there'll be a 2867BE 4G and a 2867BE 5G, and the same with the 2928. We've already released the non-wireless version, the 2928 and the 2867, so those are already available, which actually comes on to the next question. It's about stock availability. So the question is, when will stock be available for the 2867BE and the 2928BE?
So the both products should be available now. You can check on cmsdistribution.com website. The products should be you can order them from there as well, or you can contact your line manager if you have one, and they should be able to supply you with the product.
So most of the channels should have stock as well. So the stockers come in, so people, your general suppliers should be having that and showing availability for that now. So you should be able to purchase from your normal supplier. That they should already kind of have stock, or if not, I expect they'll be getting deliveries in very soon for that, because we've got the UK availability is now from today. And now a question about VoIP with VoIP ports. The question's asking if there's going to be a V variant of the 2867 or 2928, which has a analog port on it.
Okay, so it seems like people still need that option. At the moment, I think we are going to have a 2767 variant of that, and potentially, probably project only, we may have the 2867, 2928 VMAR variant as well. Bear in mind, guys, if you just connect your IP phone through an Ethernet port, you don't need a V model to have it working properly. It's only for the older telephone interfaces, the RJ11 plug, where
Yeah, so
you may benefit from the VoIP module.
yes, there's the 2767 VAX is the model Lukasz has referred to that has the built-in VoIP port where you can plug an analog phone in, but on the upper end, the 2829, there isn't a planned VoIP model for that. But what we've seen is often things have moved to IP based, so people are typically using kind of IP based solutions where you just have an IP phone or some sort of IP based replacement to your old PSTN based devices, and for those they'll transparently go through the routers without any issue. That's fine. It's just seen as normal data traffic for the router, so it's totally okay for you to have any VoIP devices on the LAN that are sending SIP based traffic, and the routers will pass that quite happily. So let's have a look. The question about the 10 gig side, so we've got the product you talked about, but Lukasz, would you be able to just give an overview of what are the other kind of 10 gig options when it comes to the switching in the DrayTek range that has 10 gigabit Ethernet and 2.5 gig Ethernet for people to pick if they're looking to pair that with the DrayTek product?
Yes, just please bear with me. I'm gonna share my browser screen actually. This is the page I was referring to earlier during my presentations, and you can see the list of the DrayTek switches available, where you can compare the number of interfaces, the features it supports, if it's a PoE or non-PoE model, and if any of the high spec features are available as well on the device, such as port mirroring, link aggregation, VLAN support, and so on. So if a customer is looking for a solution where even layer 3 features are needed, some of our DrayTek switches do support that. So I do recommend you guys visit our website and you can compare all of the products there. It's just go to
Thank you. Yeah, I've just sent a message on the chat there, so you should be able to have a link to the one that Lukasz has shown there. So that's great. Thank you, Lukasz. Next question is around rack mounting. So I guess that kind of is a question we can ask for all of the products that we've talked about, the Q1070X and the switches. Can they be rack mounted?
So higher spec, bigger switches, basically they usually come with the mounting kit. However, this small unit is not designed for rack. It's designed for like a desktop shelf. It's very tiny product, so it would be quite. Yeah, you can still put it on a shelf if you mount a shelf and just put it there, but you can attach it to the wall. So yeah, I think that should work as well.
Thank you. Now a question about the differences between the 2928 and the 2867, because they're very similar products. So I guess the question is, which should you pick? What's the kind of decision-making process that you'd go through when it comes to picking one or the other?
All right, that's a very good question. And maybe I can open the slide that compares two products again. Yeah, probably this slide is good. So the main or the only difference really, guys, is this row here. So for the 1.2 interface, 2867 series come with the built-in RJ11 interface, which is basically the built-in VDSL ADSL modem. So if you have a customer that is using the telephone line and they don't not planning to give it up for because it was reliable, it's a good backup or maybe primary connection for them, then the 2867 series is for you. On the other hand, if you have a customer which is planning to use fiber only, or maybe add another internet connection in the future, then 2928 is probably the most flexible product because it comes with that SFP plus slot. So you can basically put an Ethernet or any other adapter, and it would allow you to connect to virtually any type of internet connection. When you look at the spec of the wireless module, both 2867BE and 2928BE are identical.
Okay, thank you, Lukasz. So yes, DSL, sometimes it's called FTTC, or partial fiber is a term that's sometimes used because we got FTTP is full fiber, so that doesn't need a analog interface. So that's where the 2928 would be needed. But it's the nice thing is that the 2867 can support either FTTP or FTTC. So if someone has FTTC now and then they might upgrade in the future, if they've got that unit deployed, then it's just simply a case of switching it from the DSL WAN, the RJ11 WAN, and plugging it into either the 2.5 10 gig one or the other WAN interface. So that's an easy upgrade for people if you've currently got FTTC, but then you're going to have FTTP in the future. But if you've got FTTP now, then there's no need for the 2867. You could just go directly with the 2928. So the next, I'm just looking at the other questions I think we've covered. Oh yes, so there's a question about the recording. Will that be available remotely? Then the answers, yeah, we will be uploading that to our YouTube channel. We will be sending a link following up with the details for that in our follow-up email. We'll send a link to that, but it will be uploaded. I think it's typically done later today or tomorrow morning. The video will be available, so you'll be able to watch that or send that across to people. Also on there, you can see any previous recordings that we've made, so there might be other events that you've maybe not had a chance to watch. So do take a look on there to see any of the other videos. And if you are interested in getting a not for resale unit, so this is ones that are intended for your own use, for you to do kind of testing, getting used to that. If you log on to the dealer portal on the DrayTek.co.uk website, there's the ability to request an NFR code. I see Lukasz has put that on there actually. If you go back, that would be great.
Yes, sorry, let me re-enable that again. I just seen that question and I was like,
yeah,
let's show you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah,
Go on,
continue.
because you can explain. That's great.
Okay, so if you guys go to the DrayTek.co.uk website and you haven't registered yet, then please do register. If you have the account, go to the login page, and then once you log in and it's a dealer account, you should be able to see the dealer portal page. And then on the right hand side, there is the NFR, not for resale, discount for you guys. So you can basically order a product with a discount for testing purposes So that gives you a great opportunity to have some hands-on on the latest products, and then you can then present it to your customers and show them the capabilities they come with.
Yeah, so that gives you a it's a 50% discount off of the suggested retail price. So if you wouldn't order it from DrayTek, what you do is you get a discount code on the website, and then if you present that to a supplier that is part of the NFR scheme, they'll then be able to give you a discount on the purchase price for the unit. So yeah, it's a really good discount, 50% off. So that's great for you can't get unlimited number of units, so there's a limit per model of the numbers you can get. But if you've got any questions that you can speak to your kind of account manager, they'll be able to help you with any queries around that. So the next question here, it's about DrayOS 5. We actually had a DrayOS 5 webinar last week, giving a bit of intro to some of the different things available on it and what the differences are between DrayOS 5 and DrayOS 4. So Lukasz, the question is are these products that we've shown today DrayOS 5 products?
Yes, guys. All of the products we launching now are DrayOS 5 products, and if you'd like to see the DrayOS 5 webinar again, please again go to the DrayTek partner portal, and you will be able to click on that button here, and then you can directly access the recording for that webinar. I believe there will be a new button within 2 working days that will direct you to our today's webinar, so you may wish to try the dealer portal link today. And to answer your question, again, both of the products, the 2867 and 2928 series routers, are DrayOS 5 products, and they come with all the DrayOS 5 features. And the Q1070x switch is running its dedicated operating system, but the functionality and interface is very similar to DrayOS 5 as well.
We will be running other webinars with more information around DrayOS 5 and more training on that. So do watch the space for future announcements of videos. I think you'll find that interesting on how to use DrayOS 5 differences and sort of more technical stuff around some specific scenarios to help you get the most out of the products. I think that is good for the questions we got for now. So I wanted to just thank you all for attending, and thank you, Lukasz, very much for your presentation. If you've got any questions, you can reach out to any of your normal contacts, but you can email info@draytek.co.uk, or we've got the telephone number there. Be very happy to answer any of your questions. If there's any questions you've asked directly on the chat that we've not been able to get around to, then we'll be sending you an email directly just to get back to you on your question. So if you've got any questions that haven't been answered, then we will be answering those to you directly. But yeah, thank you very much for attending today, and we hope you got a lot out of the presentation. Goodbye.